Hi guys. All right, so we're basically heading home now. The contract hours are done. I'm really tired. I made my protein shake. I'm just shaking it up here before I have some. I have to have it on my way home. I don't think I brought enough milk for like 1 scoop of like the protein powder, but we'll just see like how that tastes in just a little bit. But yeah, today went actually pretty well. Like for chemistry 12, they had like their unit test, and then I noticed during the test a mistake in terms of just like one of the units for like the enthalpy, or like the EA, the activation energy, which is supposed to be in kilojoules, and it said like degrees Celsius instead, which was a mistake I saw. I need to change it on my computer so I don't like miss that again next time. And for economics, it was a really good like lecture, I think, like I mentioned, because last time we went through the consumer price index, but this time it was just like more focused on like unemployment and the types of the different types of like unemployment that might exist. I think especially the seasonal one is like a really good example where like certain jobs are seasonal, like maybe construction, or even if like you work at a ski lodge or something like that, they'll definitely be hiring more people in the winter time, right, when like people are actually utilizing their facilities and stuff. And in the same way, I gave good examples of like landscaping, and like mowing lawns and stuff like that in the summertime is a really good kind of like summer job. Oh, shoveling driveways and stuff during the winter time, right? So there's so many examples, I think, of seasonal unemployment, where people will be getting jobs, and certain jobs only during like specific like seasons. But yeah, and I think students were actually quite attentive today during the economics lecture, because I think it's something like it's like easy information. They can kind of like relate to it at the same time, and more students actually were handing in their worksheets. Like I said, I'm giving out bonus marks, so that's kind of motivating everyone to like hand in their work. And I know, just like I mentioned, I want students to do like a few questions like every class after the lecture, just to kind of like reinforce like the concepts that we just like went through in class. So I think it's really important. They don't realize it, like I mentioned, but they're just like processing it like twice, right? They're reading it and then the textbook, and then they're writing out their answers again. Even if they want to check up some of the terms on the internet, I think is okay. I prefer them going through the definitions in the textbook, because I think the economics 12 textbook explains all the concepts really well, with some really good examples, and test questions are coming from there, so it's best if they're like reading the textbook on their own as well. And for physics, we went through a couple of sections. We were talking about like waves, like how to calculate the wave speed. Again, there weren't too many questions, I think, in the physics 11 textbook. So I think next class we'll probably I'll probably maybe print them like a worksheet to do in class. But I did have a couple of students come to the board and just kind of like share their answers, and that way like the other students can kind of see how to solve the questions as well. So I think that was actually quite helpful. But yeah, and that was it. Like after third period, I always give students a break in between. I think it's definitely necessary when you have like like a 2-hour class. I think it's just like too long for students to be sitting there. Yeah, so we're just heading home now. Oh, so like at lunchtime, guys, I actually like went out to canvas for my business, my Hearts to Go Inc. business. But I think what I'm going to do, I just had an idea, is like I did do this I think a couple years ago, but I think I want to create like more like flyers, and like I think hand out like the flyers, like so people I think kind of like know, right, that the business is there. I canvassed a little bit. I sold one of my plaques as well. It was like, it had a really cool design. It was like one of the new plaques that I had designed. I can't remember what it said. Maybe blessed, maybe blessed, thankful. But it was like a really funky kind of design, and this lady really liked it, and she bought one of the plaques. And then she was actually asking about whether, like, whether we customize, and I told her we customize plaques as well. So if you are looking to buy, like, a plaque, it's basically like the ones I have right now are the round ones, but we also have, like, the heart-shaped plaques. We have the ones that are square-shaped, and the largest, like, size right now is basically like it's like a rectangular shape. It's actually quite large. So if you want to customize, because we customize for all kinds of occasions, like, I have a couple of plaques that are here from, like, Mother's Day. We had some really good designs that came out, and I was telling her, because I think she wanted something for like a sweet 16. So I gave her my card, and I'm like, it has my personal number, my cell phone number on there. So I was like, it's best if you just, like, text me at that number, and that way, like, she can just tell me exactly what she wants. You guys, you can also, like, let me know about the border designs you would like, or, like, the types of letters that you want, because we have, like, the fat ones, like the thick letters, we have the thin letters, we have the ones that have, like, sparkles and stuff. Same thing with the border designs. Like, new designs are always, like, coming out, especially in terms of the borders. So it's a really good idea if you want to give, especially, I told her, like, the birthday plaques are very in demand, and the reason for that is if you want to customize it, you can actually put the person's name directly on the plaque, guys. It's such an amazing gift, and it's a really good idea, and it's for all occasions. And of course, Mother's Day has passed, but Father's Day is coming up, so we're going to have some new designs for that occasion as well. So yeah, so if that's something that you're looking for, again, it's Hearts to Go Inc. We are on Facebook and Instagram. You can just send, like, a message there, and I can get back to you. And I try to upload, like, as many of the new designs as I can. But yeah, the new designs are definitely coming out, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Once again, it's Hearts to Go Inc. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Alright, so I'm basically just heading home, and again, I think I'll just check in with you when I get home. Of course, my cats are going to be by the door. Like I mentioned, though, Oliver won't come out until, like, I say it's okay for him to come out, which is actually really cool, because he's actually the naughty one, and Lexi is actually kind of like the quiet, obedient one. But as soon as I open the front door, Lexi is the one that will go running out. Oliver will wait by the door a little bit, and then when I open the door, like, wide, like I open it completely, then he will actually, like, come out and be like, okay, it's time for me to go out. But again, once he comes out, like, he has to be put on a leash, guys. There's no way, like yesterday or over the weekend, I let him out without the leash, and again, he ran under the bush, and it was a whole thing. I had to bring out my broom again. I don't know why he gets scared of the broom. It's just so funny. Just looking at the broom, he gets really scared, and then he'll just, like, run back into the house. So yeah, so that's what's happening. All right, so I'm gonna head home, and I'll check in with you in just a little bit. Hi guys. All right, so we're still, like, driving home. I was just listening to the radio, and someone basically won $6,800, like, dollar jackpot on 92.5 Kiss. And if you haven't heard this competition before, it's basically like they'll play, like, a sound, and you have to kind of, like, call in, or I think you text in and then they call you back or something, and you have to guess what the sound is. Basically, that's the game. It sounds really simple, but, like, it's a really, like, small sound, and they'll keep on, like, kind of, like, playing this sound until someone can actually call in and, like, guess what that sound is. So I think this last sound was basically like an umbrella opening or something, and this lady was just saying that she had called in, like, Friday morning at, like, 8 a.m. or something, or texted in, and they're supposed to call you back, but she didn't hear back, and then she called again or texted in again at 5 p.m. And then over the weekend, so this weekend too, it was basically like rainy all weekend, if you remember. So I guess maybe she had to use her umbrella quite often or something like that throughout the weekend. And that was the sound, basically. So won her just about or just under 7 grand, which is crazy. That would be really cool. It doesn't seem like a great deal of money, but it is. It's a chunk sum of money that like you can be using, right? Towards whatever it is, paying bills or like gas or like food. I think it goes a long way. I think any money and any extra money coming in goes a really long way. So yeah, so I was just listening to that right now. Thought I'd share that with you. I think I did one time. No, this was for 680 News, I think, because they also have a jackpot in terms of like if they don't get like, you know, if they're not able to dead on get like the weather guarantee, like the I think the high every day or something, the jackpot will keep on increasing to like a certain point, and then it's like a certain jackpot like payout. And I know I did enter the contest for the 680 News one a couple of times, but I didn't win. I don't know what the chances and the probability of you winning that jackpot is. If I find out, I'll let you guys know. But I know one time I got really excited. I was like I did it online on my phone, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to win the jackpot. But no, guys, that didn't happen. No. So again, also like if you buy the lottery quite often, there's a higher chance or a higher probability of you getting struck by lightning than you actually winning the lottery. But then I hear people around me are always like, you know, if you don't buy the lottery, then how can you win? Like, you don't have a chance to win, basically, right? So I was like, oh, okay. I don't really buy the lottery. That's my husband. He likes buying Lotto Max and 649 or Daily Grand. I think he buys them all. Like he'll like rotate between each of these different lotteries and stuff. But I think you guys should buy Lotterio. I think that's what it's called, because it's only like in the province of Ontario. So your chances and your probability of winning is definitely much higher. And I can't remember how much the ticket is, but I think it's $1 or $2 or something. So, which is nothing. But like I said, I'm more into like the pro line. I like betting on my baseball tickets and my baseball games, I mean. And what happened over the weekend, I think I bet only once because Sunday was completely busy. I didn't win my tickets on Saturday, guys. The stars just didn't line up for me to win my ticket. But more on that to come. I'm going to actually be doing more videos on kind of like just letting you know in terms of the patterns and the probabilities of how you can actually win when you're doing like sports betting, because you can definitely win. You can definitely win big. I know a lot of people have told me they've won like $100 or $150 betting, sports betting with Proline. You can also do like a pool bet. I usually don't. I just do the regular Proline bet. Like I mentioned, I like doing the over-under games, so that way I can tell if the total for the game is going to be over the line or under the line. And I can tell you again with like a significant, like a very significant high probability as to like, you know, where the line is going to be at. In terms of like, you know, like the teams that are going to win, sometimes I can tell you with a high probability, because like I mentioned before, it's not like hockey. And in hockey, again, it's kind of like the game is just so fast paced that, you know, it's almost like any team can win even at the end. During like period 3, you're like, you think one team is going to win, and then all of a sudden the other team scores like 2 or 3 goals in the third period, and it might be only like 10 minutes left or something like that. So it's very strange, you know. But if it's a fast, like packed game, that's definitely possible. I tried sports betting with basketball a few times, but very tough, because when you make a bet, even if you're betting which teams are going to win, it has to be within, I think, like 3 points or something like that, which is very hard to do, I think, you know. Of course, you can definitely be like, I know this team is going to win, and you know that with a high probability. But then in terms of the exact scores, it's hard to predict that, I think. I know people do this like for a living, like sports betting and stuff, but I think you really need to know like the stats and stuff very well if you're going to do that. All right, so I'm just going to head home. Just wanted everyone to like hear that about, you know, like the jackpot that went out. But I think Roz and Mocha are doing another giveaway kind of thing tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Well, I mean, I'll be at work by that time, so maybe we can like, you know, check that out. Oh, if you guys like, you know, maybe know what the sound is that we hear, you can let me know, and then I'll text in, and then maybe they'll call us back, and then guys, we can like, you know, win this jackpot. I don't know if they said what how much of the jackpot is here, but the one that they just gave out was 6,800, which would be really good, I think, you know. Like I mentioned, it can just go like a really long way. All right, I'm gonna turn on the radio for a bit here and just see what's playing. So this is still 92.5 Kiss. I like listening to 92.5, and like I mentioned, I think 99.9 is okay. 103.5, I believe that's still Chum. But yeah, all right, so I'm gonna head home and I'll just check in with you when I get there. All right guys, so we are basically at No Frills. I'm just gonna pop in really quick. Like I mentioned, it seems like I'm going to the grocery store like all the time. We went once on the weekend on Saturday. I know we picked up a few things, but I think I'm going to grab actually like maybe some apples, like some fruit, maybe some grapes or something. So today too, for lunch, I had like an egg sandwich, I had an apple, and I had a protein bar, and that was basically it. And then I was drinking like water, hot water throughout the day. I think again, it's just not enough calories that I'm consuming, and I do want to like, you know, start working out a little bit more and going to the gym and stuff. So I do want to make sure I have a proper caloric intake. So I'm just gonna go inside really quickly. What's the time? Oh, it's 5:26 p.m. I have my tutors on call online class at 6 p.m. So we have to quickly go inside and come out because we have to get home and start our class at 6. All right, so I'll just see you in a little bit. Hi guys. All right, so I just went into No Frills like really quick, and I got a bunch of stuff, or actually not too many things. I got some Marble cheese. It's on sale. At No Frills, it's, I think it was $4.44, and usually it's like $7-8, so definitely a steal. I got like some ginger because I need to put it in my chai. It's really good to put in ginger. Also turmeric and stuff is really good for you. Has some good anti-inflammatory effects, antioxidants to like, you know, reduce your risk of getting cancer in the future. I bought some mini potatoes, although I think I have some at home, I'm not sure. I'll have to check. I bought a bunch of apples. The Gala apples taste really good, guys. Like I mentioned, whenever I cut my apples at work and bring it into the classroom, the students start asking me for a slice of apple, of my apple, or they'll just take it. And like I said, that's kind of like, I'm not getting an entire serving of an apple every day, unless I try to eat it early, like at lunch, or maybe just before lunch, when we take a break during like second period or something like that. But yeah, I was trying to look for some fruits, or some fruit. They didn't really have much, I think. They had like bananas. I know I already bought bananas last time, but they're not, I think they're not yet ripe, but, or they weren't ripe, I guess, like on the weekend. Maybe they are ripe now, so I might just have one of those. And what else? I think they have blueberries. I didn't see the blueberries, but I know the blueberries are in season now, and in the summertime it does go on sale, so I'm gonna grab it like very soon. They had some grapes. I mean, it was $3.99 per pound, but that wasn't the reason I didn't get them. It was they didn't look fresh to me. I wish we could just kind of like taste the grapes before we actually buy it, because I don't want to buy a whole bunch of grapes and then it's not sweet, it tastes kind of sour, and like what's the point of like spending that much money on like food that doesn't taste good. So I don't like that. So even when we go out to eat, I don't mind paying like a certain price, or like even like a higher price for like food, but the quality has to be really good. Like, you know, if I'm going to be paying a certain amount of money for something, I do want it to taste good, not just like, oh, you know, I'm eating whatever, but I spent so much money on it. I don't like that either. And that's probably one of the reasons I don't really eat out as much as I used to in the past, because like I mentioned, I just feel like I can like make half of these like, you know, foods and stuff at home. So when we went to the bridal shower, it was at an Italian restaurant, and so as an appetizer they brought out like, you know, I guess the flatbread like pizza, but I thought it really didn't taste that good. I know it's on flatbread, so of course it's going to have a different taste, but there weren't really any like toppings on it or anything like that. And I feel like, you know, I feel like the pizza I make at home tastes 10 times better. And so that's the reason I actually bought like, you know, some extra marble cheese. So because when you buy the actual like, you know, packet for making the pizza on at No Frills, it's basically, oh, I noticed like the radio was kind of on and you couldn't hear me. So basically if you buy it at No Frills, it's like 2 like pizzas in one packet, and I usually end up making one, and then I don't make the other one until like a few days later. But you don't want to leave it out for so long, because the pizza dough, like it goes bad quite quickly. So I was thinking of making maybe the pizza tonight, like, you know, like in between my classes or something like that. But we'll just have to see. It's now 5:39 p.m. I need to go home and make my tea because again, I'm really tired. But the day is still not over, guys. I just need to get through night school, and like I mentioned, night school is going to end by 9 p.m., which is good. Today we're starting, they took their unit test on Friday for unit 4, so we're starting unit 5 today. But I think we'll just spend today's class doing like the prerequisite skills into the unit, and it's just some simple stuff like on sine, cosine law, which should be somewhat of a review from last year anyways, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so we're just about home now. So I'm just gonna get into the driveway. Oh, let me go around actually. Alright, the sun is like shining, guys, and it's always shining right in front of my driveway, so I can't see anything. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is end the vlog here. I think I might play with Ollie and Lexi for just a little bit, because they were, well, my husband was home today and I can see he's outside in the front yard, so he's probably taking the cats out to play right now anyways. So I'm gonna play with them for a little bit, but then I have to quickly make my tea and turn on my laptop, and I have to get on call for tutors on call with my student online, and that's only for 1 hour from 6 to 7 p.m. And then after that, 7 to 9 is going to be Wales College, which again should be somewhat of like a chilled class today, and because I do have a lot of marking to do, so I think I'm going to give them some work to do, and then I'm going to finish marking their tests for calculus that they took on Friday, so I can post up their marks. Alright, I think I'll just end the vlog here, but thank you for watching, and I'll see everyone next time. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. Bye!